Hey guys, Pro1701 here, and today we are going to be ranking the intros to Doctor Who. Now, we've already ranked the logos themselves, and we've already ranked the actual theme tunes, or different versions of the theme, but we're going to be ranking the intros as a whole now. Before I get started, I did want to point out, I've had a couple people ask me about P.O. Box lately, about what my P.O. Box is, because they wanted to send me some stuff. I don't have a P.O. Box just yet. I was going to use one that the family had for like 30 years. And when I called my mother to ask her what it was, because I couldn't remember off the top of my head, she's like, oh, we got rid of it a couple years ago. I'm like, we had it for like 32 years. So I am looking into that. That just boggles my mind that people want to send me stuff. I think that's awesome. I know one of my subscribers wanted to send me, I believe it was a copy of the Aztecs, which I would love to see. I've always wanted to see the Aztecs. I love that one scene in it. When Hartnell's talking to Barbara about not being able to change history. Believe me, I know. I love that scene. So I don't have one at the moment, but I am going to be looking into that soon, because I'm just not sure what it costs these days to do that. And I know it's depending on the size you get, the cost changes. So I will be looking into that, and if I do secure one, I'll make sure I post it on the channel. I do have an Amazon wish list. The link to that is down in the description, and there's a few things on it, including the special edition of the Aztecs on there, mostly first and second Doctor stuff, because who knows when we're going to get those box sets. So and I think a couple Sonic Screwdriver replicas I don't have. So if anyone's interested in checking that out, there is a link to my Amazon wish list. It is the US version of Amazon. Amazon's really weird. Like, each country has like their own version of Amazon, and they're all separate accounts. Like, I have an Amazon UK account, and then I also have an Amazon Japan account, and I also have an Amazon America account, US account, and they're all three separate accounts, because they're all, even though they're all Amazon, they're treated as like separate companies or something. It's really weird. So this is the US account that I have the wish list set up on, that the link will go to. So I don't know if a lot of you in the UK have regular, US Amazon accounts. It's really weird how they do that. But if that's something you would be interested in, there is a link to that down in the description below after the spot where I'm thanking my patrons. Now that I got that out of the way, we're going to move on, and we're going to rank the Doctor Who intros. I have 16 on the list. I had to go back and add in one. I forgot one. So I have 16 on the list from worst to best. And I'm going to start off at the bottom in 16th place with my least favorite, because I don't like it. And that is the Peter Capaldi intro. Don't care for it. One, don't really like this version of the theme much. I don't really think it's that good. Plus, a lot of times the intro, it plays out of sync with the intro. And that's one of those things, once you notice it, you can't ever really unhear it, so to speak. And plus, I just never liked the intro with the gears and the clock. And yes, I know he's the 12th Doctor and the clock. The only things I really like about this episode is I like that it shows the face. You're going to learn that's a big thing with me. I like the face. I'm like the opposite of Council of Geeks with Vera. I know she doesn't really care for the face. I love the face. I absolutely love the face. That's a big thing for me. I grew up with Classic Who. I love the face. And I like that it kind of shows the attack eyebrows with the flash it does of his eyes. So I like that, and I like the lettering, the font. I'm really fond of that logo. So I like that. Other than that, don't like this intro. I'll watch it every blue moon most of the time, fast forwarding through it, getting to the episode. Or if it happens to be Kill the Moon, I'm just throwing my TV, my remote through the TV. Number 15 on the list is another one I can't stand. That's Matt Smith's first intro, the one that plays during Series 5 and Series 6. And I am differentiating it a little bit from the slightly tweaked version that's used in Series 7A. We'll get to it. But the version of it used in Series 5 and 6, I don't like that one. One, I hate that version of the theme. It is my least favorite version of the theme. Just the way it starts off. Dan, dan, dan. No, thank you. I don't care for it. I don't like the visuals. To me, they look less impressive than the Russell T Davies stuff. It looks like the visuals took a backseat. The D and the W turning into the TARDIS is kind of neat. And again, I like the font of the logo. But I just I don't care for the font of the names when it's like, Matt Smith, Karen Gillan. I don't really like that. I don't like this intro. It's another one I usually just skip right through. In 14th place is the slightly tweaked version of that at the beginning of in Series 7A, so the first half of Series 7. When the fonts changed, I like the new font a little better on the characters' names, and the intro itself looks a little darker, like a deluxe version of that intro. To me, that's a little better. Not much, I still don't like it, but it's slightly better, just enough to bump it up a little bit. Number 13 is the Hartnell opening. I like the effects with everything going on. That's a really neat effect, especially for 1963. Part of what hurts this is not having the face. I don't like not having the face here. I get why they originally considered it and they didn't do it because they didn't want to risk scaring the children. I know that was one of Verity's ideas. She didn't want to do the face. I love the way the kind of background just resolves into the logo. That's really neat, really impressive. And then the logo just kind of fades into the background. That's neat. This one's just kind of plain, and the fact that I think Troughton's is just a so much more improved version of it is why it ranks so low. Where are we at? 12, I believe now, is Tom Baker's second intro, the intro from season 18. Now, this is a lot like Peter Davison's, but I am counting them as separate. The main reason I don't care for this one as much is that the picture of Tom Baker they used for this, they look like they caught him when he was really constipated. It's like he was just he was sitting on that toilet. I don't know. Either that or Tom Baker doesn't Tom Baker doesn't suffer fools gladly. It's right when somebody said something really dumb to him and he's like, just that expression on his face. I don't know why they went with that picture. It's awful. I like everything else about the intro pretty well. I like the music. I like, basically the rest of that I'll cover when I get to the Davison version of it. But just that picture of Tom is just, I don't know why they went with that picture. It's a terrible choice. Next on the list in 11th place is John Pertwee's first intro, the one that is used in his first 4 seasons. This is a really good intro. I love how it's basically the 60s intro in color with everything going on with the effects in color. This is a very, very colorful intro, and it really signifies Doctor Who moving into color, because this was the first intro in color, and it really leans into that with showing, hey, we can do this cool intro with all of these different colors. And there's reds, there's greens, there's blues, there's so much color going on. That's great. I love the logo. I love that font for the logo and that kind of neon teal color. Looks really good. What hurts this logo for me is the photo of John. One, I just don't think it's a great photo of John. Two, that hairstyle he has in the photo becomes outdated really quick because he doesn't keep his hair like that for very long. I mean, he's got it in Spearhead from Space, and then even right after that, it changes. It's definitely, we're more used to him with his more poofy, whiter hair. He doesn't keep his hair that style. So when you're watching like a season 9 or season 10 story, and that picture pops up on the intro, for some reason, me personally, it just always bugs me that the hair is off because it doesn't keep his hair like that. And again, the picture it seems uninspired. So that's the main reason it's not higher. I love the intro. It's just that picture always bugs me. It's just for some real nitpick thing I can't get over. Next on the list in 10th place is the TV movie. I like the TV movie's intro. One, I like that it starts with the middle 8. That's neat that it uses the middle 8 to kind of get you pumped up for the main theme. It's like the rising action of the song, because when you first hear that as a Doctor Who fan, you're like, that's part of the familiar theme. And then, then you see the logo pop up. And again, it's using that classic Pertwee logo. And I love that logo. I think it was my 3rd favorite logo when I ranked the logos. And then you see the letters scroll past and then fade into the background. And then it kicks into that main part of the theme we're used to, and by then you're amped up for it. So when it starts doing it, you're fist pumping the air. And I love the fact the intro is kind of a combination of the Tom Baker intro that we're familiar with the Spacefield intro more from Pertwee's era. So it's like doing the time tunnel effect that we're used to with most of Baker's run with the space effect that's most commonly associated with like Davison and Colin Baker. So it's a nice combination of those two, but with updated effects. And you even have a couple of the asteroids kind of as a nod to the asteroids in McCoy's opening. So I really like the McGann one. It just kind of hits on me for all levels. I just wish it was a little longer. Really, really good one. In ninth place is Matt Smith's third intro, his Season 7B intro. It's a little all over the place. I will admit it's not the cleanest intro, but I still like it. There's a lot going on. It looks neat. I like the music here a pretty good bit. I can never keep it in my head. I don't know why. It's not quite as memorable, but I remember I like it. It's really nice. And here's a big thing for me. It has the face. They brought the face back for the first time in Classic Who, which makes sense. It was the 50th anniversary of the show when this intro debuted. I was really happy the first time I saw that, and I see his face. And it's not like just in your face the way they do it in Classic Who. It's just kind of fleeting. You just kind of see a flicker of it shoot past. It's very subtle, which I like. But it was there, and I was like, they brought the face back! Again, I love the face. That's a big thing for me. I love seeing the face in the intro. You know, it's like, I know exactly which doctor I'm getting. I love that. So I think having the face really helps this intro a lot for me. Next on the list at number 8 is the Russell T. Davies intro. And I know there's a couple slight variations of it, but I'm just going to count it as one place. I think this was a perfect update to the Tom Baker intro, and it's perfect for when the show came back in 2005, showing off what the technology could do now. And I love all the different colors going on in it. And it's nice seeing the TARDIS when it's kind of more of a yellow background, and then it zooming in to pan as the TARDIS goes by and turning into that more green back or blue background, or is it the other way around? I can't remember. I think it's actually the blue one going into the more orangish yellow color. Yeah, that sounds right. And then I like the lettering that's used for the actors' names and stuff. Really, the only thing really hurting this one for me is the logo. I hate that logo. If you saw when I ranked the logos, the Russell T. Davies era logo is my least favorite logo. I hate that logo. But other than that, I love this version of the theme a lot too. It's a really good update of the classic theme that was used, you know, for pretty much the first 17 seasons of the show for the most part. It's a good update for that. So I really enjoy this episode. It does a really good job of getting you pumped up for the story. So it's really, really good. It would probably be higher on the list if it had the face. That's my biggest nitpick besides the logos. It doesn't have the face. I want the face. Yeah, I tend to subtract points when it doesn't have the face. In 7th place is the Peter Davison intro with the Starfield. I like the Starfield and how it has the stars going by. That looks really good on like the Season 19 box set when they've really cleaned that up. The colors really pop on it. And then I like the way Davison's face appears, how it's the stars forming, and then it kind of has that little flip down it does, like somebody turning the blinds on, you know, blinds on a window. And then you see his face. It's a good picture of him too, a good headshot of him. And then how it just kind of shoots toward the screen. That's a really good effect there. The logo's pretty good. You know, I like the 80s logo that's used for Peter Davison's era. And then I love that version of the theme. The Howl version of the theme I like a lot. That's a really good version of the theme. One of my favorites. So I enjoy that a lot as well. Really, really good intro. Number 6 on the list is the Whittaker intro, the current era's intro. I like it a lot. It's like they took the original 60s intro and said, what if we could do that today with modern technology? So I love everything that's going on in the back. One, I like how it's that slow build. You have just that purple ball, which to me is very reminiscent of McCoy's intro, which we'll see further on the list. So it has that nod to McCoy's intro, and I love how the music builds with it until when it pops out to fill the full screen, the music kicks in too. I love all the swirling going on, which is a nice nod again to the 60s intro and Pertwee's first intro, like a modern day version of that. I really love this version of the theme. Again, it's kind of like a modern update of the original theme used for the first 17 seasons. It's a great, 2019, 2018 spin on that, and it does a great effect. I love that version of the theme. I like the lettering used for people's names. I love the Doctor Who logo. That's actually my favorite Doctor Who. The current Doctor Who logo is actually my favorite Doctor Who logo. I'm very, very fond of that logo. So everything in this one comes together. Really, the only thing probably keeping this thing from being a contender for number one is it doesn't have the face. And that drives me crazy that they didn't keep the face, because I love that they brought the face back for Matt Smith's final intro and for Capaldi's intro, even though I don't like that one. I like that it has the face in it. So I really wish they would have continued that in Jodie's era and kept the face in the intro, because I really like the face, and it always bugs me that that her intro doesn't have the face, because everything else about it is almost perfect. So it's a really good intro. Number 6 on the list is Troughton's intro. I really like this one. To me, it's just a much more improved version of Hartnell's intro. I like all of the background stuff going on in it, just like with Troughton's. Just like with Hartnell's. I love that right when it starts, the music really hits, to where the music kind of eases in with Hartnell's. With Troughton's, from what I mean by Troughton's is his Macroterra and on, when he actually got his own intro. The music just hits right when it starts out. Right when it starts, it's da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na. I like that it just gets right to the good part. And then I like how it's got the face. Not only do I love the fact it's got the face, but I like that picture of Troughton they use and how it kind of just crumbles in and fills the screen. And then after that, I like how the letters Doctor Who just pop back. And I love all of the background noise that's going on in the back. I really like this intro. Anytime I'm watching a Troughton story, I always watch the intro. I don't fast forward through it. I really like that intro. A great picture of Troughton. In 4th place is Colin Baker's intro. I really like Colin's. I like Colin's a little more than Davison's for a couple reasons. One, I like the colors better. Like on Trial of the Time Lord for Blu-ray, the colors on that intro pop. You're watching it like this is an 80s intro, and it is so colorful and nice. The little colorful bits they added framing it is really nice. I like the added stars. I love the way it forms Colin here with all the colors. You see all the colors forming him, and then when you shows him, it does that slight movement where he smiles more, and you can see his teeth, and I like that kind of rainbow out bit it does. And then I like the logo slightly better than Davison's logo, and I like how it just kind of folds into being like liquid. It just kind of unfurls into being and then flashes. Yeah, I really like that. Now I know there's really 2 different versions of it, because there's the season 22 that has the Howl theme and the season 23 that has the Trial of the Time Lord music with it. I'm just ranking them together. I like the Howl music better, but I associate the Howl music with season 18 and Davison more. It sounds weird for me with Colin Baker, so I tend to associate the Trial of the Time Lord music more with his intro, even though I'm not as fond of that music. But yeah, I really like this intro. Again, I always like rewatching it. I don't fast forward whenever I'm watching a Colin story, because that intro it pops. It's so colorful. I do want to give kind of I'm not putting it on the ranking list, but I do want to give a quick shout out to the version intro they used on the season 23 box set for the trial-less version of Terror of the Vervoids. It has its own unique intro that's really good. It's like if someone took Colin Baker's intro and mixed it with the Russell T Davies intro. If they put them together, that's the intro they did. And the intro is really, really good. It's like Colin Baker's intro, but with the time tunnel effect going. And it's really good. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. It's really impressive. Moving on to number 3 is the Sylvester McCoy intro. I love this one. I get it's a little dated by today's standards, But when you realize that this intro was made in 1987 with all of the CGI work going into it, that is stunning. That is an accomplishment. I know they spent a lot of money on this intro for the time, and it took a while to make. But for the time, that is an impressive intro. And yes, I have seen the YouTube video where somebody did a modern uptake on it, a modern update on it, and that does look fantastic, I might add. It's a really, really good update. But back to the original. I really like it. I love the intro with the purple ball. I like it doing the nebula thing where it turns. The rocks floating past do look kind of like crumbled up pieces of paper, I will admit. I like the TARDIS showing up and kind of fading in and everything changing into McCoy's face. I like the silver painted face with the wink. I enjoy that. I love the way the WHO letters tumble into the screen and flip past. The logo itself's not very good, but I do like the way the WHO letters actually tumble in and spin around to form WHO. It's the way the Doctor part forms afterwards. A little, it's not a great logo, to be fair. But I have to say, I love the theme. This is actually my favorite version of the Doctor Who theme. I love this version of the theme so much, so much. It's so good. I really like it. So everything really comes together for me for this one, other than the asteroids looking a little naff by today's standards, and I'm not too keen on the logo, but everything else about this one I love. I think it's pretty impressive for its time. I love this version of the music. And I just love that opening sound it makes when it starts. It's a really well-made theme. It's another one I don't ever skip past it. I always watch it when it comes on. Number 2 on the list is Jon Pertwee's second one, which could objectively be the best one, but my number 1 I just have such a subjective attachment to. I really like this one. This is, of course, the opening that's most associated with Tom Baker, but it actually does get its start here with Pertwee. I love how it starts out with just those streaks of light going in a circle, and how it shifts to Pertwee's face fading in. Just the way they do his face fading in, to me, is a much more impressive than, say, Tom Baker's, where his face just kind of fades in and fades out. I really like here where it does that thing where you just see his face almost like a ghost coming into existence till it resolves into the image of him, and then how it goes into that full body shot, and then it goes forward and the silhouette of him, of his body, goes with it. That is crazy. And then it shifts, of course, to that diamond time tunnel with the diamond logo going back. I think most people don't think about this one because John only has it in his last season, so it's really only in 5 stories. You know, most people associate John with his first intro, the one that's used for most of his run. I think this one kind of gets forgotten a little bit, but I absolutely love it. Because it just seems so technically impressive, even more so than the more familiar version of it we see with Tom. I love the fade in with Pertwee's face. I love it doing the whole body shot and seeing it go forward, and then seeing the diamond logo with that more green tint we don't normally get with it. It's really impressive. And then number 1 on the list, my favorite Doctor Who intro of all time, is Tom Baker's main intro, the one that's used for his first 6 seasons. Even though, as I just said, the Pertwee one I think is a little more sophisticated, this is the one I'm used to when I think of this one. This is the one, you know, when I first saw the Pertwee one, my first thought was, oh, this is almost just like Tom Baker's intro. Even though really Baker's intro is more like that Pertwee one. But we associate it more with Tom Baker. It's the intro we see with him the most. Because, I mean, it's his intro for 6 of his 7 seasons. And that era is held in such high regard. So for a lot of people, this is the intro. But it's great with those bars from the side shooting at the beginning, resolving into the way they go up to form the whole thing. And then the TARDIS approaching the screen. And it's switching to that time tunnel effect, that silver, sometimes gold time tunnel effect that just looks so phenomenal, especially for the time it's made. And then, of course, that wonderful shot of Tom Baker looking very, very stoic, very un-Tom Baker-like, very stoic with the scarf. I love that shot. I just love that shot when it pops up with his face. I'm always like fist punching the air. And then, of course, when it fades out, you know, it switches to the diamond time tunnel with the ever familiar diamond logo that I love. scrolling past, and then of course the lettering of the episode, and I love the version of the theme that's playing right there. I associate that theme, the original theme used basically for the first 17 seasons for the most part. I know there's slight tweaks to it. I most associate it with this intro. So when it's doing its screams and everything, that screaming sound it makes during the intro, I'm thinking of this one. When I think of Doctor Who, this is the intro that springs to mind. And again, a lot of it is subjective. You know, I love the Fourth Doctor. I love the Fourth Doctor's era. And so this is the intro I think of when I think of the show, and is my personal favorite intro of all time in Doctor Who. So I would like to know what you think of this list and how you would rank the intros if you were ranking them. Other things to do: click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications so you never miss out on another video. I want to give a special shout out to two of my top tier patrons, the Fifth Doctor and Stephen Crane. I really appreciate their support, just as I appreciate the support of all of my patrons. Thank you. And all of my subscribers as well. It's been really nice to watch the channel grow over the past few months. My goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers now, so if you haven't subscribed yet, help me out with that. If you are interested in becoming one of my patrons, there is a link to my Patreon down in the description below, where I have different tiers. My entry level tier is only $2 a month. If there's anything there that interests you, I do exclusive videos that are just for my Patreons. I ranked the Masters recently from worst to best, the TV Masters. They also got an exclusive review of the Idiot's Lantern. I'll also be doing an exclusive review of the omnibus version of the Daemons for them soon, as well as that won a poll that they were able to vote in. They get to vote on Doctor Who episodes that will be just on the Patreon, and for Doctor Who episodes that I will be reviewing on the channel. And they also get neat behind the scenes stuff as well. Like, I talk a lot about my collectibles and stuff, and just stuff about me in general. If there's anything there that interests you, again, as I mentioned earlier, I do have my Amazon wish list down in the description below as well. If there's anything there that you might want to send me for me to review, there's a lot of First and Second Doctor stuff on, especially First Doctor stuff, because I haven't seen a lot of the First Doctor's era, so it'd be a great opportunity for me to kind of fill in some gaps there if you want to help. Most importantly, though, thank you for watching.